Hello, educators. Jory John has written so many amazing books. Here are some ideas for discussion questions or written responses. In my classroom, I would have a class discussion and then have students follow up by writing their ideas. I would model how I would write their ideas to get them started. The author has a great website that you could share with your students so they could see who he is, as well as read through some interviews he has done so they could learn more about him. Writing can be really challenging for students. This is a great lead-in book to get them thinking about themselves as writers. So I would read this book, The Smart Cookie, and then my post-reading questions I would ask them would be, do you find it hard to write? What do you like to write about? Where do you find ideas? Who would you like to share your writing with? So we could have a class discussion about it and just leave it like that, or we could do some writing together as a class, or I could do some independent writing with them. They could do partner writing to share their ideas as well. Partner writing can be really useful because they can take turns. It really helps them to figure out where sentences begin and end. So I would have the first student write an idea and start with a capital and period, and then the second student writes an idea starting with a capital and period. And then sometimes even using different colors for each sentence can help them. I like to use a big piece of chart paper and markers, and that gets them excited about writing as well. So you can use those ideas with the other books that I will share with you too. This one is the couch potato. These days, kids can get caught up in technology and forget to get outside, be interactive with others in person, and get moving. This book can open up great discussions for getting moving and getting outside. And even if they're at the age where they're doing all of those things, we know that their future selves sometimes will get stuck. So hopefully these ideas will stick with them and last a lifetime for them and have that impact. So my post-reading questions to ask orally or to have them write about them, or both, would be, what is the best thing about being outside? Also, what would happen if you never left your couch? So great ideas to get them thinking about relating to this couch potato in this story. The big cheese. In this book, he's boasting and bragging so much. I think it's important for students to feel confident in themselves. So I think we need to teach them the difference between appreciating what they're really good at, feeling really good about themselves, loving themselves, but also being aware of how they say that to other people. I think is super important. So my questions for the big cheese post discussion would be, what are you really good at? What is something you're working on? What is something great you can say about a friend's ability? And then I would, again, follow up. It's okay to feel good about things you do well. Just remember to think about other people's feelings when you talk about your accomplishments. We want to feel proud of ourselves and love ourselves for sure. It is all about finding a balance. So just consider that we don't want the kids to think, oh, I can't say that I'm really good at soccer, because we want them to feel confident in things that they are doing, things that they are proud of. So we definitely want to teach them that nice balance between, over boasting kind of versus just saying, hey, I'm good at this and that's okay, right? So the big cheese opens up a whole big world for me to think about too as an adult. The sour grape. Some people can be very negative and unforgiving. Teaching kindness and forgiveness is very important to teach in our classrooms. It can be very challenging for humans to forgive others. So my questions would be, how can you be kind to others? And how can you learn to forgive others? I think that's more of the key that I would work on with the book Sour Grape is forgiveness and how to forgive somebody, because often our students will say, I'm sorry for, and then say what they've done. And then the other student will respond with, that's okay. But it might not be. So if a student punches another student, for example, it's saying that's okay doesn't necessarily ring true because it wasn't okay for that person to punch them. However, if we can teach them to say, like, I forgive you, and teach them through a discussion about how we can get them to forgive other people, what might that look like, so that they don't continue to feel super angry about the other person and their actions, and really teach them how to move forward after they've had some confrontations. The Cool Bean. This book is a great lead-in for teaching feelings of gratitude and how students can make others feel grateful. You can discuss other emotions that the students come up with as well. My post-reading questions would be, how would it make someone feel if you help them out? What kinds of things can you do to make others feel this way? So, a great discussion, again, that you can have with your students. The final book that I'd like to highlight is Giraffe Problems. Giraffe thinks his neck is too long, but Turtle wishes he had a long neck. Giraffe helps Turtle with his long neck. This book is a great lead-in to get them to appreciate what qualities they have that a friend can appreciate. Post-discussion questions might be, what is something that is special about you that a friend would appreciate? And also, what qualities do you look for in a friend? Super important to think about each other. It can also help to boost up your friends when you can say good things about them too. So that would be lead into another good discussion too, right? Also, like, how can you boost each other up? And you can brainstorm maybe some good qualities about each student in your class. So a different day of the week, you would pick one of your students until you get through your whole class, where you're just sort of appreciating things about those kids once you get to know each other a little bit better. I hope you find these ideas helpful to use in your classroom discussions and written output. Starting with a great book is always useful to get students thinking and writing. Jory John has so many other great books. I would supplement my other reading times with his other books. For example, when they're having their snacks or eating their lunches or coming in from outside playtime and you want to calm them down, I would pick up those other books of his and just read them just for pure enjoyment. I do tend to read at least 3 books to my class a day. I think reading to students is super important. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more great ideas. Happy reading. Have an amazing day.